Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Leslie Cubizol. I am International Masters Manager at Centrale Nantes. This presentation should last between 20 and 25 minutes. So I hope you'll be brave enough to stay until the end. I know you may have attended a lot of meetings. So before telling you about my institution, I would like to tell you more about my city, which is Nantes. So Nantes is not as famous as Paris, but I can tell you it's quite an enjoyable city. It is located on the French west coast, about 2 hours by train from Paris, which is quite convenient whenever you need to travel, and which is quite convenient whenever you need to go on vacation because we're very close to the ocean. This proximity to the ocean is actually quite an asset because we are in a very rich industrial pool with a lot of big French companies settled in, such as Airbus, Naval Group, or STX, for instance. As you can tell from the pictures I did on this slide, Nantes is actually quite a green city where it is nice to live. We have a lot of parks and also a river flowing through the city. So that's something you could enjoy if you choose to study here. So now let's talk about Centrale Nantes. So Centrale Nantes is what we call a French grande école. It doesn't mean we are a big or a tall school. Rather, it means we are a school of excellence. You can tell from the number of students we have that we have actually fewer students than a traditional university, but it's because we focus on both teaching and also on research. You can see from our number of researchers and PhDs that research is important for us. So we take very good care at selecting our students, both national and international. And actually, almost one student out of two at Centrale Nantes is coming from abroad, which we are very proud of. Diversity and welcoming international students is very important for us. We actually have a team of 10 people at the International Relations Department. I think I have a picture of us at the end of the presentation. So a lot of people is there to make sure your stay in France is going well and smoothly. So now let's talk about the rankings. I know you may be interested in this data and your parents as well. So Nantes, Centrale Nantes is the 5th engineering school in France and actually the first one outside of Paris. We also are ranked in the top 200 in the Time Higher Education rankings for schools of engineering and technology. And another ranking that is not as famous as the THE, but that we consider is very important due to our drive to welcoming international students is the U Multi-Rank ranking, because for more than 4 years now, we've been ranking in the top 25 for student mobility. I was telling you earlier that international experience is important for us. That's also the case for when we welcome international students. You have the opportunity to do your Master 2 as an exchange student in another university outside of France, because we have a lot of partnerships. You could also do your internship abroad. So that's something you can keep in mind in case you also want to study in another country than France. So this is almost the end of my general presentation of the school. Then I will tell you more about our master's program, but I want to stress on our research facilities and industrial partnerships, because when students join Nantes in a master's program, they can either, after graduation, do a PhD, or embrace a career in industry. That's the two options. So at Centrale Nantes, we have quite a lot of research facilities. The main ones are listed here, but not all of them are appearing on this slide. I will just stress on two. The first one is the LIA, the Laboratory in Hydrodynamics, Energetics, and Atmospheric Environment. This facility is actually quite recognized even at the European level because we have several pools where simulations and trials are made. And among those, we have a towing tank that is about 140 meters long, I believe, and also a wave generator, which we are quite recognized for. The second lab that is very important in our institution is the LS2N, which is basically the lab for control and robotics. And there you can find experiments on autonomous vehicles, on drones, or on parallel robots. I was telling you earlier that your second option would be to do a career in industry after your master program. At the bottom of this slide are listed are some of our industrial partners. So these partnerships are sometimes very tight thanks to industrial research shares. It means that Centrale Nantes is partnering up with other research institutes and with the industries to solve actual problems or to keep on doing the research with this specific industry. So these very close bonds are important for us. Our students have also access to what we call the Career Center. It is a department that helps the students in their internship search. So you have a lot of workshops, for instance, on how to build a resume, how to write a recommendation letter, how to pitch yourself in front of an interviewer. And also this Career Center organizes and participates to several job fairs during your 2 years of masters and where you are invited. So really the idea is to help you to find what to do after the master program in Nantes and in France. Now let's talk about the programs. So the three programs I'm going to tell you about today are the three ones you may be eligible to join because all of them are available for international students and are fully taught in English. Well, not for the fast track, but I will get back on this later. So the first program I'll mention will be our master program, then the foundation master, and then the fast track program. Let's start with the masters. So at Centrale Nantes, all of our master's programs are taught in English, and we have 6 major master's fields that can be divided in total in 15 specialisms. So in the field of mechanical engineering, we have 4 streams. The first one in advanced manufacturing, the second one in computational mechanics, the third one, in energetics and propulsion, and the fourth in advanced composite engineering and science. At the bottom of the slide, you can see that we also have a joint master in computational mechanics. It means if you were to join this specific program, that you have the possibility during your Master 2 to go to the Polytechnic University of Barcelona in Spain. And thanks to these 2 years, you would get actually 2 degrees instead of 1 if you had just stayed at Centrale Nantes. So that's a possibility you have with this program. The second master we have is in control and robotics, once again with 4 fields. The first specialty is in signal and image processing, the second one in advanced robotics, third, embedded real-time systems, and fourth, control systems. You will understand with these specialisms that the master's program are aiming at training experts in one field. They are not a curriculum to train generalist engineers, but rather specialists. It's really something to keep in mind. So back on our control and robotics masters, we also have what we call Erasmus Mundus joint master degrees. Those are international degrees that I will detail later. The first one is called GEMARO, the second one EPICO. And we find again a joint master, just like on the previous slide. This one is on advanced robotics. And the second year could either be done in Italy or in Poland. And once again, you will get a double degree at the end of your curriculum. The third master we offer is in marine technology. You can see on this on the picture on the left the logo of our LIA lab, the lab I was telling you about with a lot of pools and with the wave generator. So the two streams we have in marine technology are in hydrodynamics for ocean engineering, and the second one is the Atlantic Master on Ship Operation and Naval Engineering. This one is actually taught by both Centrale Nantes and the French Navy School. Which means that students actually get to train on the Navy boats and get to participate in on-ship problematics. So they would live for several weeks, for instance, and act as a project manager on the ship. Once again, we have what we call the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree programs, which are international. A first one in renewable energy in the marine environment, and the second one in naval engineering called EM-Ship Plus. Our fourth master program available is in civil engineering, focusing on materials and structures in their environment. I believe that Centrale Nantes research team are focusing on concrete and seismology, if this is something you've studied before and you would be interested in pursuing. Fifth master program in city and urban environments. First one is atmosphere, water, and environment, which is more for urban engineering. And the second one is more for urban design in architecture, ambience, and urbanity. And last but not least, our sixth master program in industrial engineering, with once again two possibilities to get specialized. One specialism in agile factory management, and the second one is smart and enterprise. So that's a lot of information. All of these programs are listed on our website, so don't hesitate to check them out. Really, the essential information you have to remember is here. Our applications are currently open and will be so until April 30th. But the sooner you apply, the better it is, because if you apply before February 28th, you could be eligible to receive what we call the Elite Scholarship. This is a deduction from your tuition fees. Talking about tuition fees, you can count 15,000 euros in total for the program. So 9,000 for the first year, 6,000 for the second year. Our intake, we only have one per year, always in September. So if you are to apply in the current application campaign, you will get to start the courses in September 2021. Really, the eligibility requirements for students are to hold a bachelor in engineering, science, and technology related to the master program you're interested in. Be fluent in English. We deem that having a B2 or B2 plus makes you fluent enough to follow the courses with us, and have a good level in maths, because maybe you don't know it, but France has a strong tradition of math, and you would find it in almost every course at Centrale Nantes. So it's very important to have strong foundation in math. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Yes, finishing with the master degrees. I wanted to talk to you more about the Erasmus Mundus joint master degrees. So earlier I mentioned 4 of them. So these programs, what makes them so special is that they are funded by the EU, which means as there is more money than for local tracks, there are also full scholarships available. These scholarships could cover the tuition fees, of course, but also the living expenses and the travel expenses. What also makes these programs so special is that most of the time you would study in at least 2 different institutions, and therefore you would also get 2 master degrees. So the ones I want to tell you about are listed here. The first one is GEMARO. It is focusing on advanced robotics and artificial intelligence. So you could do your first year in Europe at Centrale Nantes or at Warsaw University of Technology in Poland, University of Genova in Italy. And what makes it very special is that during the second year, you get to study in Japan, the land of robotics. The second master we can mention today is EPICO, which stands for Electric Vehicle Propulsion and Control. For this master program, you could even study at 3 different universities. So you could get a triple degree in just 2 years, which is quite convenient when you want to be efficient. So the partner institutions are located in Italy, Germany, and Romania, and of course, Centrale Nantes. And the last 2 Erasmus Mundus joint master degrees that Centrale Nantes participates in are in the field of marine technology. The first one is EMShip Plus in naval engineering. And the second one is REM for renewable energies in the marine environment. I really encourage you to check those masters out because they can allow you to engage in an excellent training and get fully funded. So it's very interesting for you guys. So now let's get back on my little drawing. We talked about the master's program. I now want to tell you about our foundation master year up. So this option is something we created for the students whose skills in math would be a little bit too shaky to enter directly into a master program. So the idea behind doing a foundation master is getting accustomed to the French academic world, so strong math tradition, and also to get used to the French culture and language. So you have 1 year or 1 semester, depending on your choice, to get used to that. You have 3 tracks available. The first one, mechanics and environment, the second in signal control and robotics, and the third in civil and environmental engineering. What's also interesting with this foundation master is that it gives you direct access to our other master's program. So that's only beneficial for you. Another asset of this program is that you get also an elite scholarship of 6,000 euros deducted from the master's fees. Now, if you remember, the master's fees were of 15,000 euros. So you would only have to pay 9,000 euros for the master program. Important information to remember. Just like for the master's program, applications are currently open. So feel free to contact my colleague on her Foundation Master email address. They will close on May 15th. You can apply either for 1 semester or for a whole year. If you apply for 1 year, the tuition is 6,000 euros, and for the semester, it is 3,000 euros. If you know that, you're ready to join us. So the minimum requirements are having a bachelor in engineering, science, and technology, just like for the masters, be fluent in English, and have strong foundation in math. And finally, the fast track program, which if you have a look at the line right below, it is written diplôme d'ingénieur, as opposed to below the master's program, it is written master's degree. I told you earlier that the masters are programs of specialism. The fast track is a program for a generalist engineer. So this program is in 2 years. So in the end, instead of getting a master degree, you would get what we call a diplôme d'ingénieur. This program, I want to warn you, it requires a lot of dedication because it is an accelerated program. In 2 years, you would get the diplôme d'ingénieur, when for French people, it takes 3 years to get this diploma. So the first year is taught in English, and the second year is taught in French. And you get during your second year to choose among 22 options. So you would still be an generalist engineer, but you could choose to have an option like in aeronautics or in digitalization, for instance, which could help you after to choose a company and the mission you would be interested in. Here are the options listed. So you have quite a choice. Important information to remember. Applications are still open, so feel free to contact my colleague. The tuition fees, they are a little bit more expensive than for the master's program, but it's also because, as I was telling you, it is an intensive program and also condensed. As I was telling you, it takes 2 years instead of 3, but it still requires the same resources as for a 3-year program. The requirements: having a bachelor of science or engineering, be fluent in English, and have a good level in both math and in physics. We're coming to the end of the presentation. I just wanted to add that we take good care of welcoming of international students. We also work with local student associations who can pick you up at the airport, and we help you with all the immigration formalities when you arrive. And also, we secure you accommodation prior to your arrival, help you to get your visa done. Some pictures of the campus. So I don't know if you're a sports addict, but you will have a lot of options at Centrale Nantes, but also in Nantes. Whereas it is swimming, soccer, basketball. We also have a Quidditch team if you're a Harry Potter fan. And if you're not into sports, you would still have options to join other associations. For instance, for robotics fans or for code fans. So there are a lot of options for you. That's my team, and that could be the team who would welcome you in a couple months from now. So as I was telling you, we're about 10 people dedicated to making your life easy at Centrale Nantes and in France. So you will find here the contact information of my colleagues and I. Also, if you are not too sure yet, you want to contact us, but still want to have information about our school, feel free to go on the website or to like us on social media. I will now up. That's the end of my presentation. So we will now move to the Zoom meeting to answer your questions. And I will be joined with my colleague Marie-Pierre, who's also in charge of international masters. Thank you.